Philip Gray, you're the UAE country manager for DTZ, which is an international real estate consulting firm. What sort of work are you doing in the UAE?
Oh, broad range. We're doing advice. We're advising clients on occupational needs. That's acquiring space. We're also advising investors on both inward investment and outward investment from the region. We advise a lot of local developers and investors on feasibility projects, feasibility studies, looking at new projects. And we have a big valuation business looking at the valuation of existing assets across the region. But my responsibility is UAE, although we have offices throughout the GCC. And we've been in the region for over 30 years.
So you came along with the founding of the UAE, essentially.
I haven't been here 30 years myself, but UAE.
But the company did.
We started in Bahrain in the mid-70s.
Right, right. When Bahrain was the most developed in the region.
Yes, it was, and it was at the time when a lot of the banks were moving out from, say, the Lebanon and the areas of the unrest. So the banks were establishing a base in the GCC in Bahrain. So we've seen a lot of change, and we come with good credentials in that respect, having seen the development through Dubai and Abu Dhabi. We're in Doha, Kuwait, and Bahrain, and we've obviously lived through all that's happened in the interim period,
which has been interesting.
With war. Yeah, we've always kept an office open.
You mentioned inward investment and investment out from the Middle East to other parts of the world. Which is a bigger business at the moment?
Oh well, the regional business is the more active, but there are a lot of funds, wealth funds, looking at opportunities out with the region as part of their policy of divesting or diversifying their investment base. It's just a normal strategic decision.
How much appetite is there for investment here by external investment funds, and how much difficulty do they find, or do you find in trying to place things for them?
That came up today at the breakfast, and I think David Nunn from Simmons & Simmons did a very good account of some of the challenges that we're facing around the ownership issues, because there isn't really the opportunity for overseas investors coming in to acquire an interest in land and property, which would normally satisfy their investment requirements. So there's change needed to the system. If Abu Dhabi is going to put itself on the map as a global city, and it's certainly moving in that direction, the implementation of the 2030 plan is being carried out in a very structured way. And there are a number of big development vehicles looking at implementing that. The Mubadalas and the TDICs all doing a fantastic job at implementing that plan. But that in turn will create investment product. But the issue around the ownership and the structure is a key thing. And the second thing is that the quality of the product currently in the market is fairly poor, if we're honest. There are some excellent examples of new product coming on. The Aldar schemes are good, and obviously the Mubadala or John Buck scheme on Suwa Island would be two examples I'd have of leading edge developments. But what we're seeing is that there's a lag in terms of what the market's providing and what institutional investors coming in would want. So it's interesting to see how that's going to change. It will change. There are opportunities there as well for developers and investors to take advantage of that shift.
So there is international money that would like to come here, but is not finding the vehicles for it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't overstate the case. I mean, there is international money looking, but it won't land until such time as it feels comfortable with the title and the quality of the product and the sort of the way the buildings are let and managed and run to create income. It's about the way property is looked at rather than just an income stream. It's a capital asset, and I think that's a shift in mindset that's taking place.
Today's focus was Abu Dhabi. Everything you've been saying about Abu Dhabi, does that apply to Dubai, or does Dubai have more properties of the type you're talking about?
Dubai is, in many respects, a more transparent market. It's remarkable what it's achieved in such a short space of time. it is less structured in terms of the way it's been built. So there are issues around the infrastructure and how that all works. The quality of the product there is better. I mean, you can see better office quality product, for example. That is an advantage it's got. It's on the other side. It's got the market imbalance between demand and supply are quite distinctly different from Abu Dhabi, which is only slightly out of sync, whereas Dubai obviously is quite significantly oversupplied at the moment. It will change. I mean, it's a market. These things go up, these things go down. Obviously, it's quite overdeveloped at the moment, but it will level out. So timing and entry into the market will be critical in that market.